and welcome to yet another LC Coaches Show. I'm Brad Welburn here with Wildcat Media Sports. Glad to be joined by, as you can see, our very own Coach Dennis Dunn. We're going to talk about what's crazily to think enough is the last couple of games of the season. We're talking about McMurry and then the final regular season game coming up this weekend against Mary Hardin-Baylor. And Coach, I know you've been doing this a long time. I've been covering sports football for a while as well. Does it always seem to go by this fast? I mean, it's hard to believe we're in the last week of the season.
Well, here's what I'll tell you, Brad. The older you get, the faster it gets. And, yeah, it's gone by extremely fast. And, you know, good group of kids. I've certainly enjoyed 2016 and the ride that we have had, albeit not exactly the way we wanted everything to be at this point in the season, but still a great group of kids who have fought their tails off for since fall camp. And, you know, when you think about it, you're a possession away in 4 of the games. Yeah. And, you know, then you took Hardin-Simmons, you know, who's right now, I think, number 9 in the nation. You had your opportunities against them. And this is a good football team, and it's unfortunate that at this point it in many ways doesn't feel like it.
Yeah. Well, let's get into it and talk a little bit about McMurry last week on the road. Tough game for many different reasons, mostly or maybe startingly enough with the fact that we were kind of slim at running back for sure, and that's a big part of what you guys like to do is establish the running game, which, you know, obviously every team wants to do to open up the passing game. With the injuries and stuff, all you really had was Oren, and really just couldn't get the running game going at all.
And we knew going in, Brad, that they were very good defensively. I mean, they're one of the better defenses in the conference, and especially on the back end. So we were hoping to be able to establish some of the run game to maybe open up some passing lanes because we knew how good they were on the back end. Best secondary we've played all year. And, you know, the bottom line is this. In the game last Saturday was 3rd down. They won 3rd down, and we didn't. And I think they were 10 of 19 on 3rd down, and many of those conversions were 3rd and long. Yeah. And they were able to possess the ball and have the time of possession was just a huge disparity. And we only had 51 offensive reps, which may be a record since I've been here for the fewest number of reps in a game. And then when we had opportunities to convert on some key 3rd downs, we didn't. And that, to me, that was the bottom line in the football game.
Yeah. Talking a little bit about the defensive performance as well, you know, coming off of the ETBU game, knew they had a lot of talent and they showed it. It seemed like defensively, McMurry at least was able to really get to the outside a lot during the game with their sweeps and quarterback just sometimes making plays with his feet. Was that kind of the determining factor?
Well, we didn't tackle well. Yeah. We didn't get off blocks, and you know, really the last 2 weeks we didn't play really well in space defensively, making plays that we needed to make, and you know what that's attributed to is you know, you got to go back and you know, reevaluate, you know, how we're taking on blocks and you know, gap integrity and those kinds of things, but being able to get off blocks, and you know, that's one of the things. And on the perimeter, we didn't get off blocks, and that was the determining factor on, you know, them being able to stretch the perimeter and make plays, especially late in the game when they needed to drive the football and score a couple of touchdowns late to win the game.
Yeah, I think I remember correctly. They had all their scoring drives were 10 or more plays, if I remember correctly. So that's pretty.
Well, again, the 3rd down. I mean, we got them in 3rd and long a lot, and we just could not get them in 4th down, and you know, unfortunately, that's been the Achilles heel a lot at times this year. Is 3rd down, especially 3rd and long, has been a you'd almost not getting 3rd and long because you're holding your breath. Well, we got to make a play, and typically that's where you want teams is in 3rd and long.
Well, you go back to the ETBU game. They had the ball 3rd and long with still time to go. They convert. We get the ball back there. Down by 2.
Absolutely.
You never know. So
absolutely. And there was a little bit of probably of ETBU hangover, you know, and then the long road trip. You try to guard against that. You try to speak to that all week as coaches because of the emotion of that game the week before. Senior Day, homecoming, ETBU, the claw, and everything that went into that game. I think they felt a little bit too, ETBU, because they went over and got hammered by Hardin-Simmons. So that it was just unfortunate that and we you know, McMurry's peaking right now. They're playing their best football of the season. They you know, they started out a little rough, but they've progressed and gotten better and better every week. We knew they were going to be good defensively, but their offense, week by week, got better. And you know, they did what they wanted to do. They knew we were explosive. They were not going to let us on the field if they could help it. And they were running the clock, the 40-second clock, all the way down to the end and snapping it. And their game plan worked to perfection, limiting us to only 51 offensive reps.
Yeah. And if you just wondering, you talked about time of possession earlier. We had the ball 16 minutes. They had it 43. So just kind of tell you the story right there.
That's some disparity, I would say.
Yeah. All right, well, let's move forward and talk about this final week game as we travel one more time to Belton, Texas to take on Mary Hardin-Baylor in the season finale. And, you know, we knew this game was coming at the end of the year. The Crusaders always just very, very good. They're currently ranked number 2 in the country in polls, 3 some other polls. But why are they so good?
Well, you know, it goes back to the beginning of the program when they brought football back. I think the year before LC brought their program back. I think they brought it back around the same time. And they hired a guy by the name of Pete Fredenberg, had a lot of Division I experience, and he was looking for something with a little bit more stability because he had bounced around from program to program, coached with Grant Taft for a long time at Baylor, and coached at LSU, Louisiana, Texas. So he was looking for something with a little bit more stability and opportunity to build something special. And Mary Hardin-Baylor made a commitment at that point to finances, to resources, to facilities, and they built upon that, and they've been able to get quality student athletes in there from day one. And it's not just in football, it's in every sport. And you know, to their credit, you know, from an institutional standpoint, they valued athletics and how much it means to their entire college community. And it is the front porch of Mary Hardin-Baylor, which in turn, when you look at them overall, they're an amazing academic institution, the arts, and they're just a really fine liberal arts college. But Pete has done an amazing job. He's kept his coaching staff, for the most part, intact through the years, so the consistency of being able to build on that year after year after year. And they really are and have become the measuring stick as it relates to national competition. So, you know, we respect them fully. And to be honest with you, since I got here, that's been our aiming point. Mary Hardin-Baylor, you know, we talk about the rivalries between ETBU and formerly Mississippi College because they were on the other border. That really hasn't been the emphasis through the years. Our aiming point is because they're the best in the nation, or one of the best, has been Mary Hardin-Baylor, and that's our aiming point. And so many teams, Brad, go in to play Mary Hardin-Baylor already defeated in their mind.
Right.
Winning happens so much in the minds of those who compete. So a lot of teams go in there already with so much self-doubt that they begin to self-destruct, almost a self-fulfilling prophecy before they show up, and they spot Mary Hardin-Baylor 21 points in their brain, and then you get out on the field, and that's the kind of thing that happens. Another thing that we've told our young men is, hey, what if you didn't know Mary Hardin-Baylor's history? You didn't know their record? What if you didn't know your record? What team would show up? And that's been the challenge this week. So there you have it.
Yeah, I was out at practice yesterday. I heard the story that you were telling them about the Stanford math student who solved the equations that Einstein couldn't solve because he didn't know. He didn't know that was an Einstein equation or whatever. So do you feel like that they're kind of responding to that a little bit, of just saying, hey, we know we're a good team too, and we can come out and prove it?
Well, Brad, as coaches, we joke, anytime your livelihood depends on 18 to 22-year-olds, you never really know, because I don't know what they're thinking about, and they don't know what they're thinking about, 30 minutes ahead, and much less what's going to be happening Saturday. So this millennial generation is so impulsive, and they're so into what's happening now. You really don't know how much they're actually thinking about 24 hours, 48 hours, and what's going to happen down the road. But you prepare them the best way you can, not in any way lying to them, letting them know, hey, they're just a good football team. We know they're good. And, just so much respect for, Pete Fredenberg's a good friend of mine, and he's been so gracious to us through the years to, any information, their staff, their athletic director, one of the first, when I became AD here in 2014, the first call I made was to Randy Mann, their athletic director, and said, Randy, can I come sit down with you? You guys are the best. And he was just opened the books for us, showed us everything, and spent a whole day with us, and anytime I have a question from an athletic director standpoint, I pick the phone up. Randy answers every time, and if he doesn't have the answer, he finds somebody that does. So, just a class program and class university, and it starts at the top. They've got a tremendous president and their board of trustees. So, in many ways, the excitement we're feeling around here on campus, we believe that Louisiana College is moving that direction, and it doesn't hurt to say that we'd like to model ourselves after a great college or university like Mary Hardin-Baylor.
Yeah. We talked a little bit about the intangibles. Want to real quickly at least touch on the X's and O's a little bit of the game. We know that I was talking to a couple of coaches yesterday. I was like, all right, which side of the ball for them is better, offense or defense? And it seemed like the consensus that I got from a few of them was the defense was kind of their hat, where they hang their hat on. Do you feel like that?
They always play great defense, and that's one of the things that has set them apart through the years. They've had some amazing offenses through the years, some really talented players on that side of the ball, but they win with make no mistake about it, they win with defense, especially their front.
Yeah.
Their front is they've got some Division I play. They've got 8 that they're playing up front in their defensive line that could certainly play at a lot of FCS schools, and that's what they've done. They've hung their hat. And Pete, to be honest, was a D-line coach, so he really knows how to find those defensive linemen, coach those guys up, and they win with their front, and they don't have to stun a lot. Their back end is pretty conservative, from a coverage standpoint. They keep everything in front of them, and believe that at some point you're going to make a mistake, and they're going to capitalize on it. And they get tremendous pressure with just 4 rushers on a passer. So, they're always really, really good in special teams. So, it's kind of a cookie cutter mold of, what you want to do to win football games, and he's followed a plan that from day one that's been successful.
Mm-hmm. All right, well, it certainly is going to be fun on Saturday as we travel out to Crusader Stadium to take on the Crusaders. And a lot of stuff riding on this game, not only as a team, first opportunity to beat Mary Hardin-Baylor, but also some individual stuff out there for some guys, especially a couple seniors as well, that would really put a stamp on a fantastic career at Louisiana College. So I'm kind of
no question. And another thing that's exciting is Dr. Brewer is coming, and he's been invited to be in the skybox with their president, and supposedly, from what I understand, a couple of donors to Louisiana College are going to be there with him. So I hope it sparks some interest when they see what they've done facility-wise, and the word continues to spread with our need here at Louisiana College to, get on a competitive level as it relates to facilities, because we know in recruiting, a high school kid, when they come on campus, the curb appeal means so much. And I know that's our president's heart, that's his vision for the future, and it just can't come soon enough for me, Brad.
I got you. I know. I understand. All right. Well, I guess that'll about do it for us this week. We will have a show again next week to kind of wrap up that game and the season as a whole, and maybe even look ahead to what's expecting in the off season and next year and all that sort of stuff. But be sure to keep it locked to lcwildcats.net. We will have links for live video and stats, and of course the game will be broadcast on 104.3 The Bridge with Rich Dupree and Al Quartermont on Saturday afternoon. So if you're interested in it, it'll be there for you for sure. So check it out. Thanks so much for watching again this week. Once again, I'm Brad Welburn with Coach Dennis Dunn of the Wildcat football team, and we'll see you next week.
Thanks for watching. Appreciate you being with us all season.